Cafe Lounge. And we have decided on reading Tress.
Yes. Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. Give me 1 second to make sure that... Did you turn the mic on?
Yes. Yes. I turned yours on.
Anyway, sorry for that.
Bobby.
You did it right. So, it was unfortunately brought to my attention that these are Gators colors by multiple people.
Multiple people?
Yes.
I thought it was just your sister.
And Alyssa.
Oh, and
I know.
the Gator herself.
I know.
I'm gonna have to switch to just a blue mic.
Yeah.
Because I'll be damned if we're doing all orange.
I know. Anyway.
Anyways.
So, we have read chapters 1 through 16. Hopefully you have too. Tress of the Emerald Sea. And I really like it so far.
It is. It's so cute.
It's really cute.
Very cutie.
So let's get it started. Let's get it started. Let's get it started. Okay.
Anyways, this is I'm like because this is piratey. We decided to wear
We dressed up
little matching bandanas and
change our music.
Yes. I hope you like the new intro.
Yes.
I worked really hard to
She
find
did.
that.
She sat here for so long.
Yes, listened to like 70 plus different like music bites of
She did.
of pirate music till found that one. So I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah.
On with it.
Onward.
On to our what's the word? Recap.
Recap.
Yay!
Wow. So that
Okay.
like sparkles.
Yeah.
Recap.
Wow. Tress or Glorf, as apparently is her real name.
Oh, I would go by Tress too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Because her hair is like, I don't know, it was something about her hair.
Oh.
Gave her the name.
Yeah, and then I thought that line where he was like, men always like describe women's hair as food, and I was like, yeah. Let's talk about it.
Anyway. So Tress is a window washer who lives on an island, the Rock as they call it, in the Emerald Sea. The sea is not made of water, but instead it's made of spores that pour down from one of the 12 moons. I think it was 12. Which, when made contact with any liquid, burst into a plant-like creature. The emerald ones do. We learn later that the other colored ones do other colored things. Yeah. Charlie is the son of the Duke, but around Tress he's just the groundskeeper. Tress collects cups from across the planet, and likes to come and show her dear friend Charlie, the groundskeeper. One day the Duke witnesses a moment between Charlie and Tress and promptly ships them off to be married. Charlie sends Tress a cup whenever he successfully bores a bride away until they show back up a year later with a bride. But not Charlie.
No.
Gasp. I was shocked by that. I was like,
Me too.
what? So
I love her being that is most definitely not Charlie.
no, literally. So it turns out the Duke was like, I'm gonna adopt my nephew to make him the new heir and send his son off to marry the sorceress on the Midnight Sea, aka to die. Because the Duke sucks.
The sorceress she's not gonna go for that. She's actually just gonna kill Charlie.
Yeah, and she's like causing war and shit, which like, girl boss.
Love to see it. I'm sure she's got her reasons.
I'm sure she's hot too.
Yeah, for real. And I'm sure like they probably deserve it.
Yeah,
Like,
honestly, from what I've seen of the government so far, they probably deserve it.
Definitely.
Anyway, no one cares about the fact that they sent Charlie off to die, and the Duke gets mad at Tress when she's like, "Hey, can you like please pay this ransom off?" And he's like, "No, you're not allowed to wash windows anywhere."
He's like, matter of fact, you
no!
and your family.
So then, Tress is like, "Damn, I guess I'm gonna go after the love of my life." So her and her parents, because Brendan makes a whole point. I think Brendan is so funny, and we'll talk about this later. But he makes a whole point about like, and then Tress went to talk to her parents because that's something that most heroines in books should do more often. And her parents are like, "Yeah, sure, you're usually right about these things, so you can go."
They're like, well, if you're asking for it, you're smarter than us. So.
Yeah. So they spend 2 weeks doing recon and trying to figure out how to get off the rock. And then her dad goes to a bar and basically asks through favors, but like doesn't really ask discreetly to get people that owe him favors to help her get on a boat. So she dresses up as an inspector to hitch a ride out, but once they set sail, the captain slips poison into her cup. She sees pigeons that are colorful and talking, which is so real. turns out she's on a smuggler ship and she meets this talking rat, which is so funny. Love the talking rat. I can't remember the rat's name. I apparently didn't write it down.
Huck.
Huck?
Huck. H-U-C-K. Huck.
Yeah, Huck. Yeah.
I was going Huck.
Okay. So Huck, the rat, I hope that's correct, who tells her she's on a smuggling ship, and then they get attacked. So they're attacked and the sea turns solid because they explain all these physics and shit, but like basically there's like bubbles and some sort, and that keeps the spore sea moving, and then the bubbles stop.
I was confused during this part. I was also tired when I was reading that, so I was like, what?
It's like physics and shit. It makes sense in my head.
Okay.
So there's like bubbles and shit, and the bubbles make it move, and then at some point the bubbles stop, and if the bubbles stop, the sea goes solid. So she has a couple of minutes. She's like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna sprint across the spore sea. And so she's like sprinting and she's walking.
She's getting spores all over her.
And she's getting spores all over her. And then this other guy like runs past her and he like engulfs the spores or something, and then it's like stuff grows out of his eyeballs and it's crazy. And then another guy's like walking past her and he's walking slowly to the other ship because they're like, what's worse? Pirates? Or possibly either pirates or the government, or sinking on this ship because this ship is sinking. So she turns around and behind her, this guy fell off the ship and he's being engulfed by the spores and the plants and stuff, and it's going crazy.
It's like
and everyone's
really
watching.
gruesome.
And it's terrible. And then they shoot the guy that was in front of her, and then he gets erupted by spores. And then the sea starts moving and she jumps on, and Huck's like, dude, you gotta hang on. And she's like, I hang on. And she hangs on for 15 minutes, and then the crew pulls her up, and they're like, yeah, the captain said if you were there for 15 minutes, we could pull you up, and we did. And then the captain's like, throw her overboard. And she's like, and everyone else is like,
aw. Which is not very girl boss of her. I was so happy when it was a girl captain.
And then she wasn't
she's
slay.
a bitch.
Yeah.
She's like a bitch, and not in a fun way.
It's so sad.
Very sad.
And so then for whatever reason, Tress is like, I've got this. She gets down on her hands and knees and starts scrubbing. And then everyone just leaves her be.
They're like, okay.
So the pirates are odd, especially the captain, but some are nice. The rest are Dougs, which we are explained about for like 5 pages, that they are Dougs.
And that there's a Doug on every world in some way, shape, or form. And once a society reaches the Doug stage, like they've gone too far.
There's no going back.
Yeah.
And the rat is still there. The rat
and
is
he's still talking.
Still there. Tress scrubs the deck and they try and leave. And they leave her be as the newbie. She overhears the shipmaster fort talking about how they're not super thrilled about this whole pirate thing, but they're scared of the captain. She becomes like kind of like besties with a bunch of people. Like she's kind of just like there, and they're kind of like chill with her. She overhears a lot of stuff. Fort has this like cool like machine, because I think he's deaf is what it was. And he has this like machine that's like basically like writes for him and like interprets, which is really cool, from a wizard from the sky. Also
random.
Yeah, who's the guy? I didn't write down any names because I'm freaking dumb. There's one of the guys that she knows from the ship before.
Oh, Sean.
Sean?
Yeah, Sean.
Yeah, so Sean is like, he's like, I lost all my, I met the sorceress once and I lost my 5 senses. And we're like, oh, he can't see, he's blind, whatever. No, he lost his sense of like humor, his sense of like direction, and like those senses.
Like, wasn't like making sense one of them?
Something like that.
Yeah.
So Sean's like not living his best life.
No, but Sean's also our narrator.
Yes, he is our narrator.
I'm like, what the hell? It's so random.
He did not lose his sense of humor, it seems.
I was very confused because I was like, Brandon is the narrator, but then
Sean is the narrator.
It's like, hello?
Yeah. And then they make Tress fill up a cannonball with spores. The spore man, because there's a spore man on every boat. There's a name for it. Forgot to write it down again. He was sank by Crow, because he was like, I don't think we should be pirates. And she was like, fuck you. Bye. If you like spores so much, go sink with them. Ooh. And that's where we end. So let's talk about we're on the talking stage now.
Yay! I hate talking stages.
Let's talk about the world. The
world was confusing because I know that this is a standalone book, but it's in the world of Brandon Sanderson and like another.
It is?
Like, yeah, that's why it's like he's just saying things and like you just having to like know. because this book is set in the world of another series, but it's a standalone.
I wonder if this is set in the Skyward series, because I totally read that.
Oh my god.
I do not know what's going on now.
But yeah, so there's a lot of like the world stuff that I'm confused on, especially like with the spores.
Quartermaster, not shipmaster.
Yeah, because I didn't understand the severity of the spores at first. I was just like, what are the spores floating around? Like, what's wrong with that? I didn't realize they would rip people apart. That was something I mentioned to Haley, was like the lightheartedness of the book versus the gruesomeness of like those like certain scenes. It's just really like the juxtaposition is very interesting.
It is. And the whole thing, like, I was confused at first because I'm like, how do they like drink water? Where is the water? But I guess because not every spore is no, they are all activated by water. I'm confused.
Liquid.
Yeah, but like, where do they keep their water? Where do they get water?
Well, I don't think it's the entire like continent that has like, I think the rock had naturally like salt was guarding it.
No, yeah. Oh, so I guess the water like is just salty.
Like, yeah, there's like natural places that like don't have spores, because I think the spores are connected to that sea, and so I think
they're connected to like all the seas.
Yeah, so land itself I think is fine, but you just like if you're on like a port, there has to be like salt and stuff, and metal apparently.
And metal, yeah, because they have the silver.
Yeah,
the silver kills the spores,
which is weird. I'm like, how does that work?
They're like werewolves. That's werewolves, right? Like they get killed by silver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got it.
I know my shit. And our main characters, Tress and Charlie, they're so cute. I love them.
God. And I love that they know that they're like in love with each other. And I was like, especially because how old is Tress? Like 17?
Yeah, something like that.
And so I'm like, oh, dude, so cute.
Very cute. And she's just like, yeah, I guess it's pragmatic, but I'm just gonna go out there and get them. Someone's got to do it.
Yeah.
And our parents are like, yeah, go do that.
I love her having like a whole like mental breakdown though whenever she heard he was getting married, or the heir was getting married, and he's like, I know she doesn't love me. Like, I was like, oh, you're so real for that. And her mom was like, love is complicated. You're so right.
Talk your shit,
Talk
queen.
your shit.
And her dad is so dad.
So cute.
So dad.
I love him.
And like Brandon just being like, and her father went off to do some extra fathering.
Oh,
and I was like, as he should.
What a good father. I feel like this is the first like book character I've seen in a while that has both of their parents alive and both of them are good people.
Yeah.
Because I feel like in order to create backstory, authors are like, let's kill the parents.
Kill everyone!
Have a 17-year-old running around unsupervised.
Yeah. But it's okay. But I don't know. I thought that was really nice. Oh, and her whole thing with cups.
Oh, it's adorable. I love
that's so random.
Quirks. Like, I love when a character's quirky without being like quirky.
I'm not like other girls. And Tress is just like, I want them cups, bruh.
I love how like Tress had a whole thing where she's like, I am like other girls.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't stand out, and that's why they make fun of me.
And her mom's like, no, you're too big for this island. And she's like, bitch, what? I thought I'm just washing windows. And their whole thing, but they were like, you're like a good pair of gloves. And I was like, oh, they speak each other's language.
They're so cute.
They're so cute.
I love that.
Just Brandon in general is what I have next.
He's
Brandon is so funny. Like, bro, why are you speaking to me like this? Why are you berating me?
This is my first Brandon Sanderson book, and I did not know what to expect, but he's just so goofy. I love that he talks to the reader a lot. It's like breaking the fourth wall. He's like a Deadpool movie, but in a book. And so I love his little things. And like, what was something he said in the beginning, where it was like, about librarians.
Oh yeah, he was like librarians like have like a freaky love life or something like that, and I was like, King what?
Yeah, he was like, trust. I know. I was like, oh, okay.
And then he'll like make fun of like writers and stuff, and I'm like, King, you are a writer. What are you talking about? And just his little fourth wall breaks are so funny.
So funny.
I should have like kept one that I really liked, but
also there's a lot of like sarcasm too, where it's like describing something, like, especially, like, when it was talking about, like, other girls kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was, like, being really sarcastic about it and being like, yeah, they're making fun of her because she's normal.
Because she's like other girls. Oh, my God.
Yeah, and so I love the kind of just, like, self-awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I think of what else Brandon did that I was like, oh, my God.
I know. I was like, Brandon, why are you, like, yelling? He just, like, when he randomly yells at us, I'm like, why are you yelling at me, Brandon? I didn't do anything to hurt you. Oh, the whole thing with, like, the groundskeeper thing, with Charlie being the groundskeeper, that is so cute. And she's like, I can see that you have a ring on. He's like, what?
Yeah.
Me?
And they're both, like, aware that the other knows, but they're like, let's not
push that.
Let's not speak it into existence, because then I wouldn't be allowed to hang out with you.
Yeah.
So, very cute. Also that she, like, makes pies for people, and they just, like, let her do stuff.
They're, like, chill with that.
Yeah. And then the Three Stooges that helped her get onto the... helped her get onto the boat. That's funny.
Oh my God, the whole thing with the dartboard.
Oh, yeah.
That was such, like, an interesting little detail, because he's like, I was so confused at first. I was like, oh, that's just how they play darts on their world, because it was like they would hit it, and he's like, I missed, I hit the board, and I was like, King, that's not how you play darts. And then at the end, he was like, yeah, and then, like, if you look at the knots in the wood, like, it kind of forms the Duke's face, and I was like, and he's like, did you read that part?
I did not. Well, I mean, I didn't remember reading it.
He's like, it kind of forms the Duke's face, and if you go under the dartboard, there's where a certain something would be, and if that's where they were throwing the darts.
Oh.
Yes, that certain something.
Interesting. Huh. I did not notice that.
Just, it was a funny little detail. I was like, Brandon, you were so funny. You're so
I'm
giggly.
done.
You're so giggly kicking feet.
Oh my goodness. That's funny.
The rat.
The rat.
The rat.
The rat. I have a theory.
She has a theory about the rat.
I have a theory that the rat is Charlie. Charlie's been gone because he was gone.
He just got turned into a rat.
He hit 5 cups. So I'm assuming each cup is like a month. So he was gone 5 months. And then a year after the cup stopped coming.
Yeah.
So he's had plenty of time to find the sorceress. And so I 100% think that Charlie is the rat and the sorceress just turned him into a rat that can talk. And
he was like, the rat's like, oh, you know, it was an unfortunate circumstance of how I came to be. And I was like, oh, animal testing. You got makeup put on you.
Oh,
and then Alana was like, the rat's Charlie, right? And I was like,
oh,
yeah, I thought of that. Yeah. I'm smart.
No, because the way, as soon as Tress walks in, because it's dark in the beginning, so he can't see Tress. And then he opens up the hole and he's like, hold on a minute, take off your hat. And she's
remove that.
And he's like, oh, you're a young girl. Hello.
Hi.
And then he asked her name.
He asked her.
He has hat on head. He asked her what her name was. And then she's like, oh, I'm Tress. And then she's like, what's yours? And then he's like, yeah, about that. I'm gonna say Huck for now. He was like, literally, he's like, that's not my name, but I'm gonna say that's this.
Yeah.
And then he's just also, like, very familiar with her and very, like, close. Like, already, like, looking out for her.
Like, she was like, oh, you can climb, like, you can get up there, you can be safe on the ship. And he was like, I could. But I'm not gonna. I'm gonna sit here while you hang.
Yeah, and it's also, I feel like, the way he, like, talks is very similar to the way
Very rambly.
Yeah, very rambly. Very similar to the way Charlie did. So,
I miss you, Charlie.
Miss you, Charlie.
Come back, Pookie.
Come back. Yeah, so that is my theory. What if it's like a Shrek thing, where it's like Fiona, or she's like
and he turns into a boy at midnight.
Yeah. Oh my god. So, that's my theory.
Interesting.
I could be very wrong. I did say Rhysand was going to show up for the entirety of the last book.
Of Crescent City.
And he never did.
I need to make like a highlight reel of that, of like, he's going to show up, guys. I saw a spoiler.
It's the next chapter. I know he is going to be there. I know he is. I'm right.
She was not right.
I was very wrong.
But it's okay, because I was like, Nesta's gonna show up and it's gonna be all girl bossy and we're all gonna fight to the death. And then she was just like,
in another world.
Yeah. It was not girl bossy.
Yeah. Very disappointing, Sarah. I think you could have done more with that.
Yeah, Sarah.
What do you mean you introduced a crossover and then didn't cross over that much? What?
So sad.
Anyways.
The rat, the berries. Oh, the spores. The spores are super interesting.
Mm-hmm.
The whole thing, like, I don't know, just why did he think of that? Where do they come from? I mean, I know they come from the moons, but like...
Mm-hmm. I mean, I feel like it's definitely described better in the other book, that this is, like, the series where the world is built. But, I don't know. The spores are weird.
Are we sure?
I saw it. I think I saw it on Goodreads or on TikTok.
Because it would say a blank novel. The Secret Project. Don't just see Brandon Sanderson standalones. I'm pretty sure this is a standalone.
But I'm pretty sure it's like still. It's like
man, that bitch wrote a lot. Shit. Look at all these books.
Damn.
That's a whole page. That's like 11 point font. It's not even 12.
But it's like, I'm pretty sure I saw that it was like, I mean, it's a standalone book, but it's still within the world of another book. I could be wrong though. I don't think I am. But
I don't see.
let me see.
Google it. Google it.
I'm Googling. Jesus.
Emerald Sea. What a ride. When I sat down to read this book on a whim, I had no idea where the whole project was going to end up.
Cosmere Fictional Universe. First book of Sanderson's secret projects.
Well, I can't find it on here. Oh well. Slay King. So yeah, definitely makes more sense in other books, but I think we just spent like 2 minutes on that.
Yeah, that's alright.
Anyway, why is she screaming? The cat is on like drugs today.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Probably because Haley gave her catnip.
I did no such
Catnip
thing.
treats.
I did no such thing.
She's like schizophrenic every time we see her. She's like.
I did no such thing.
That's literally one of the first things you told me when I got up this morning.
Whoopsie. This morning at noon.
Shut up. Shut up.
Theories in general is the next thing that I have on here.
Mm-hmm. What do you think? Where do you think this book is headed?
I think they're gonna throw Captain Crow overboard and Tress is going to become captain.
That'd be really funny.
And then she's gonna be like, onwards and forwards!
Like, that'd totally be within, like, her... Like, Tress is such a diverse character. Like, she could literally do anything, and I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. So I think that's what's gonna happen, and then she's gonna use the power of cups to defeat the sorceress.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Or she's gonna meet the sorceress.
And they're gonna kiss.
No. They're gonna become best friends and team up and take down the king.
Yes, destroy the government!
Yeah!
Because he's like kind of a bitch, bro.
Mm-hmm. The king and the duke.
The duke freaking being like, yeah, so my son, he got ADHD. I'm gonna send him off to die. Girl, what? Mm-hmm. Give him some Adderall. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
You already make him do groundswork. What else can you do?
Mm-hmm.
Just let him be with the little girl that he loves who makes pies.
Just saying little girl is crazy.
Little, not
baby.
Little.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm betting that she's gonna team up with the sorceress. Like, the sorceress is gonna have some like dark backstory, and Tress is gonna sit down and have tea with her and listen to the whole thing
with the power of cups.
Yeah, with the power of cups.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're gonna be like, oh my god, girl, I get you. I get you. People didn't like me either.
Besties.
I also collect cups. And they're gonna become best friends. And
oh my god, they're both gonna collect cups. Oh.
Like, what if like, she has a cup collection, and then the sorceress has a mug collection. Like, they're like a pair.
Oh. Or like a wine glass collection.
Oh. Yeah, and then they're gonna defeat the duke and defeat the king.
Destroy the government.
Destroy the government.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then she's gonna go back to the rock, and her parents are gonna be so happy, and they're gonna be like, "We knew you could do it."
Or
she's gonna be like,
she finds a way to neutralize the spores.
Mm.
She
gains the power of the spores.
Oh, sure.
How to use it.
Oh.
Effectively, because she keeps talking about it, right?
Yeah. And she has already started using it effectively with her little...
Yeah! Because, like, she was like, oh, I didn't know that, like, we could use, like, the cannonballs being used with the power of, like, the wind spores. She's gonna learn how to effectively use science. She's gonna be a woman in STEM. Cup science and spore science.
I wonder if the sorceress started the spores, though. And then
I wonder how she's a sorceress. Maybe she just is really good at using the spores and she's not actually like a magician.
Maybe.
She's probably actually a magician.
Yeah. But, I mean, otherwise, how the heck did Sean lose his 5 senses?
I think he might have just already been like that.
Maybe. He is a little kooky.
Yeah, a wee bit.
But, yeah. So, I think she's also going to figure out how to either neutralize the spores and have it just be a C, or she's going to learn to use them.
Yeah. She's going to be like Power Rangers. Yeah. But, like, spores. Go, Power Rangers.
And just herself, no one else.
She's got that whole crew.
Oh, true. The captain.
Sarah and Sean and Fort.
And Doug.
And Doug. And the Dougs.
And Doug.
And Doug.
And Doug.
And oh my god,
Doug. Oh my god.
Oh, that's crazy.
Very crazy.
And the rat. Of course.
Yes. Maybe Charlie?
Question mark? What if the whole time the sorceress was actually Charlie? What if the real Charlie is the friends we made along the way?
What if Charlie never existed?
What if Charlie's a cup?
What if he's a figment of her imagination?
Oh my god.
Anyways.
Charlie's actually a Doug.
Oh my god.
That's the twist at the end. He's not actually gotten by the sorceress. He's just a Doug.
You know what? That's okay. We support Dougs.
We do. We are a safe space for Dougs.
Yes.
If you will.
Yeah. It's okay. You know, it happens.
It does. Doug happens to the best of us.
But yeah. Any further theories?
That's all I got. The next couple of chapters, I think they're probably, because we're doing it by 16s, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they're pretty short. So I'm thinking in the next couple of chapters, we're going to get an overthrowing of Captain Crow.
Yeah, I think we're reading 17 to 32 next.
Yes, something like that.
So, yes.
Check out our Instagram for the actual...
the crew.
Yes, but I think the crew's gonna rally behind her because they're not like super down with the pirates.
No, they don't like the change in the because she started killing people. She killed a friend, and they didn't like that.
They weren't down with like the killing of the other dudes. They were like, we just wanted their loot.
Yeah, and then they didn't get the loot.
Yeah, so I think something like that's gonna go down in the next couple chapters. But we'll see you next Friday. The something. I'm gonna go with the 13th. Friday the 13th.
Oh. Yes, Friday the 13th.
Oh my god!
That's my mother's birthday.
Your mom was born on Friday the 13th. Oh, September 13th.
Yeah, it might explain a lot.
Anyway, we'll do something Halloween-y, I guess, or something. Because, well, it's Friday the 13th.
Yeah, of course.
So, see you then.
All right.
Peace out, Girl Scout.
Bye-bye.